To our dawn service at the Afghanistan Avenue of Honour, a great place here on the Tinaburra Peninsula. I'd also like to acknowledge those Indigenous servicemen that gave their lives as part of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. Our catapult party will now mount, so I'd ask everybody that's able to, could you please stand for the mounting of the catapult party of the 1st Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. We are gathered here today to remember the sacrifices of our servicemen and women. They were the men and women who were willing to believe in something greater than themselves. It was their willingness to act as such, as much as their action, that gives them hero status in our society today. We are thankful for those first Anzacs whose actions emphasise the traditions we as a nation hold so dearly today. When the time came again, the sons and daughters of our Anzac came forward without question and accepted the responsibility asked of them in defending and representing their country in World War II and in times of turmoil in Korea, Borneo, Vietnam, and the various United Nations campaigns, and more recently in East Timor, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Let us on this day remember the sacrifices of all of our brothers and sisters and recall the efforts of those who now sleep peacefully in faraway places amidst the ridges of Gallipoli, the terraced hills of Palestine, in Flanders Field, and the sands of El Alamein, and the tropical forests of New Guinea, and the peaceful olive groves of Greece and Crete. Another anniversary, the Battle of El Alamein, and the culmination of the North Africa campaign. Once that campaign finished, those Australian soldiers from the 9th Division come back here and occupied a training area to the north end of Tinaburra Dam here, which wasn't here, of course. It was constructed in 1959, but they occupied training areas to the northern end of this dam, coming from the battlefields in El Alamein, the desert warfare. They had to become here and trained in jungle warfare. And finally up into Kokoda, 75th anniversary, and that's where the Governor General will be today with Lady Lynn. They'll be up there at the Ihowā Atua Memorial to commemorate that 75th anniversary of that campaign. The vegetation at Anzac Cove, they grew they had the Aleppo pines there, and in 2015, to commemorate the centenary of the landing at Gallipoli there, we planted an Aleppo pine just to my rear here, and representatives from families from World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and some of the peacekeepers were represented to plant that tree, and even one RAR from Townsville, a representative, was involved in planting that tree there. In our garden over here, we have a Gallipoli species of rosemary, and that goes back to 1915 when a wounded digger from Adelaide brought home a piece of that, a sprig of that rosemary. Rosemary is used as a sign of remembrance. You'll see it featured on the front of my lectern here, and you'll also see various cutouts on the bollards around the avenue here. The 3 Brigade soldiers were the first to land, do the dawn landing at the Gallipoli Peninsula, made up of 4 battalions from Western Australia, South Australia and Tasmania, and also Queensland here. Today, you're supported by the soldiers here from 3 Brigade in Townsville, and in particular the 1st Battalion Royal Australian Regiment. And comes forward, I'll acknowledge that all of our people that are up here today singing songs, prayers and the like are all local residents. And while you're upstanding, we'll have Louise Anderson-Clemence come forward and sing the 2 national anthems. Firstly, the anthem of New Zealand, followed by the Australian national anthem. We'll now have the singing of the Australian National Anthem. Louise Anderson-Clemence again.
Golden sun.
Thank you, Louise. Louise today is proudly wearing the medals of her father, a Vietnam veteran and Navy clearance diver who recently died. While the catapult party dismounts. That concludes our ceremony today. Thank you for attending the Afghanistan Avenue of Honour Dawn service. It's just not for the Afghanistan vets today, it's for all of our Australians that served in all wars. You are now welcome to come forward and place a poppy on the honour roll here, if you so wish, and a couple of attendants will be here to hand these out. At the conclusion of the ceremony here today, if you'd like to go up to the Yungaburra Hotel, a buffet breakfast is available up there, gunfire breakfast. And I should also remind you of other ceremonies in the area. For the Yungaburra Township itself, form up at 8 in Maud Park, which is at the top end of the street where the hotel is. You can also go over to the Malanda service at 9:30 or into Atherton, the Commonwealth War Graves in there, and pay remembrance to those 164 service people that were killed or died of injuries, illness or whatever, many of them at the Rocky Creek War Memorial Park, which was the largest hospital in the Southern Hemisphere in World War II. So just avail yourselves of those ceremonies.